Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwaraha. Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanitrambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche. Om Durge Durge Rakshini Tata Swaha. Om Namo Hanumate Bhayabanjanaya Sukham Kuru Kuru Phat Swaha. Om Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 27th of September 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan, residing in the heart of every single being. We are in the midst of this auspicious time. Actually, every day is auspicious for us. But nonetheless, this is the time where Navratri is going on. So this is the day number 6 today of Navratri, and it is the day where Katyayani Devi is worshipped. You know, Katyayani Devi is Mahashakti herself again, and it is through her bhakti, upasana, remembering her on this day, so that she cuts through impurity and fear. This is the main point of this Swarup of the Mahashakti. Of course, no doubt, it is all about purification. Ultimately, the goal is only one. The story also goes in the Bhagavad tradition, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, of the Gopikas of Vraja performing Katyayani Vrat. You may have heard of this. So they, so that their love finds its divine center in Sri Krishna. So an early classic example of devotion ripens into prem. So they do this bhakti of Devi so that they can be connected to Sri Krishna. So in the Shakti understanding, Katyayani's grace doesn't just protect, it purifies the antakarana, mind and heart, so it can hold higher truth. Right. So that's the basic gist of Katyayani Devi. Again, as you all know, we are continuing our daily Havan for Mataji in the evenings. So that is continuing, and that is going to continue, all the way through for all 9 days, and hopefully beyond that also. Let's see how it goes with what is the Krupa and divine will. Couple of other things to keep in mind, that when we are trying to understand the Jivan Mukta state with regards to Shakti Upasana, see this point carefully, please. Jivan Mukta, remember, this is our goal. Our goal, my goal, your goal, hopefully. Goal of every human being should be this. Why not? Who doesn't want to be liberated from pain, suffering, agnan, reincarnation, all those things? Sabko mukti chahiye, or mukti chahiye, bhakti chahiye, sabko ananda chahiye jivan mein. Who doesn't want that? Assuming people want that, maybe they don't know that, but they are looking for that. So there are several points to be very clear about the Jivan Mukta Sthiti state, liberation, living liberated while living. So, several things. One is, of course, that the egoic grasp, egoic grasping, which is going on throughout the whole Brahmand. Everyone is trying to grab something or another. We are functionally living in the world, but this is how the world, most people are living that way only. Society is structured based on that. So a Jivan Mukta, even though living in the world, exactly where we are, is living in a space where the egoic grasping is gone. It's very easy to say. Sachin can say that. I have to see inside. Is that true? Is it actually true that my ahankar is no longer, pulling on God knows what it is pulling on? Now, how to get to that? There are, of course, many ways, right? But the jnana is what? Jnana is the flowering of a purified mind. Antakarana shuddhi. It's difficult to understand these concepts many times. What do we mean by antakarana shuddhi? We understand what it means to purify blood in that sense, right? Our kidneys do so. Or if your kidney problem hai, to you have to go through dialysis. Purification of blood we understand. Purification of body we understand by taking a shower, things like that. Purification of water we understand. But we don't understand, not that easily, purification of the antakarana, mind. What is, that's a difficult ball game. That's a tough one. Mansik shuddhata, purity. What is that? How do you measure that? How does even anybody know that that is there? Right? So these are very subtle phenomena. We know that by the quality of our experience. That's the only way you'll know. It's not about somebody's, other people may detect, very pure person like that, saintly person. Okay. But we know this from the experience we have in our day-to-day life. Is there a purified mind or is there a polluted mind? Again, these are expressions that we use. So purification is on a continuum. On one, at one extent, at one level, there is the height of purification. It is called Shuddha Sattva Gun. Shuddha Sattva means that there is brimming purity. Sattva means purity. Yes, it's very good. That's a good state to be in. Who doesn't? That's fine. Not easy to get necessarily. Now, in that purification process, we are going through mixed experiences in life, because every experience has its own quality to that. That's the nature of Maya. That is the nature of the Prakriti itself. She gives different kinds of experiences, and each one of them has its own flavor, its own dimension, its own quality. That's the way it goes. Different ranga are there, different colors of the experience. Yes, of course. That is life. Different, and that is how we can experience the glory of Prakriti. So that's what I want to kind of focus on a bit today. What is the connection between the glory of Prakriti and Jivan Mukta state? Let's look at these two connected together. Maybe we've talked, maybe before, I'm not sure. But in this way, let's see where it takes us. Glory of Prakriti means to appreciate existence itself. For example, you see a mountain. You see the mountain in the background here. So, wow, how extraordinary to appreciate its presence, to acknowledge its presence, its existence, and the experience of it. Very interesting. Every experience we have with family, with objects of the world, with the stars at night time, the moon, the sun, every experience we have, it is an experience or series of experiences within Prakriti. Prakruti, you want to be more accurate. Okay? But those experiences are coming through the senses, and to cherish their existence is to be in a state of wonder. It's a state of awe, A-W-E, it's English word. State of wonder, state of, wow, kya amazing sabbe. See, we have gotten so saturated by experiences. It's all become old. Now what's new in that? We see the moon at night time, moon comes up. Yeah, what's the big deal about that? Moon is. But can we sit, darshan karo, Chandra ka darshan, Surya ka darshan, Srishti ka darshan, with a great sense of mystery, with a great sense of appreciation, gratitude for the experiences itself. Just to sit in nature and absorb that fact, absorb that experience, what a great miracle it is. What a great play of Prakriti. And how is it that I'm having this experience? Who is creating that experience for me? This is the glory of Prakriti. which we many times just take for granted. We don't realize, we don't take time to step back. So when we take time to step back in nature, in our life, wherever we are, and dive back into where is this experience coming from? How amazing is it that there's a cup of coffee, or there's sugar in the mouth, or any experience of the senses. Each experience is happening by Shakti. It is happening for the Atma, by the Mahashakti, for each Jivatma. And this is where our egoic grasping, which I was referring to at the beginning of today's exposition, this egoic grasping settles down. Most people live in terms of egoic grasping. I want to get something from Prakriti. I want to get something from this person. It's about me wanting to gain some experience through the ego, as opposed to the appreciation of the experience, and let the experience come within without the egoic grasping, with love, affection, and appreciation and wonder. Like, wow, how amazing it is. You'll be surprised going to a grocery store. This is how to do the sadhana. I'll show you how to do the sadhana going into a grocery store. Before you go to the grocery store, sit in your car. Try it sometime. Sit in your car. Sit for 5 minutes. Start with Ganesh mantra, Namah Shivaya mantra, Devi mantra, Bhagwan ke mantra, Naam ratan karna for 5 minutes. Take a mala before going inside the grocery store. See, very interesting. And then bring inside the mind the extraordinary fact that each of those objects it is a gift of God. It is created by the extraordinary divine power. And can we get out of the car and walk to the entrance of Acme or Pathmark or whatever the store is with that bhav? Have we done that? See, we don't know how to do this. Have not tried. Do it actually. Try karna ye. How much time it will take? Most people are just going inside. Okay, I'm going to grab this. Yeah, we need things that we want to get. That we're not denying that. But the entire attitude, entire vision is drushti. Attitude is the bhav inside. And jnana, that all of those objects that are going to nourish the body, the family, this and that, they're coming from Devi, from Mahashakti. Prakriti ke part hai ye sab. To enter into that grocery store as a Mahashakti Peeth, as a Devi Mandir. Can we do it? Can we try? Try to karna kabhi. Kya chamatkar hota hai isme? We have got in our mind falsely that God exists only in certain places. Although we know God exists everywhere. We don't live that way. Try it. There's no cost in that. There's no money to be spent in this. Ek drishti ka change. It's a change of vision. Isme anand ki prapti hoti hai. Chamatkar ye hai. This is something extraordinary. Now watch this carefully. You take the shopping cart. You hold the shopping cart. That is also a great miracle. That is also a great thing. So many people have created so much to bring this to us. Gratitude, appreciation, that bhav also. And then when you enter into those doors, they open automatically usually. I think they always open automatically. Bring inside the mind, Om Namah Shivaya. Have you ever entered into a grocery store saying Om Namah Shivaya, Om Krishnaya Namah, Om Radhaya Namah, Om Aim Swaha? Have you ever done that? Go by yourself. Make it into a great time with God. Going grocery shopping. Very interesting. If Adi Shankaracharya ji or Gnaneshwar Maharaj any great saint is going for grocery shopping, what do you think they're going to do? We cannot imagine this thing, how that is possible. बड़े बड़े संत तुकाराम, ज्ञानेश्वर महाराज, रामकृष्ण परमहंस, आदि शंकराचार्य, आनंदमयी, सजानंद महाराज, ये सब बड़े बड़े जो हो गए, they are wearing simple clothes like we are. Maybe they have a tilak, maybe they don't have a tilak. They are just look like anybody else, and they're going for grocery shopping. Have you tried this thought experiment? Try it sometime. Maja aayega. These are called spiritual experiments. It sounds ridiculous sometimes. Like, what are you talking about? What is all this? We have separated these great saints and sages in terms of scriptures, mandirs, malas and pujas and all that. Fine, that's fine. That is only a beginning, folks. That is only a beginning to that ultimate realization. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. What, Bhagwan Krishna doesn't exist inside the grocery store? That's not a Krishna temple? Where in the Gita it says that I exist only in the temples? Where it says that? Show me. I like to challenge somebody. Where is it? Bhagwan Krishna says, see me everywhere. But how do we see him everywhere? There is a way to go about that. So when we enter into that shop, you see all these different people, transactions going on, in the mind, what is the vision? Shakti. That all of these fruits, vegetables, goods in the cans, whatever is there, everything, that is Mahashakti. Can we look at a banana and see Devi? Can we look at a lemon? We go for, you have those lime and lemon. There's lime and there's lemon. And you're putting inside the bag, as you hold each fruit and put inside the shopping cart or inside those little plastic bags, take the mantra, Om Durgaye Namaha. Have you ever done that? Do it. Do it one time at least during this Navratri time. Go to shopping center as if you're going into Mahashakti Peeth. जो चमत्कार क्या होता है इसमें? चमत्कार, what is a चमत्कार? आनंद, दिव्य आनंद. हमारा अहंकार टूट जाता है वहां. There is no ahankar in this. Every person in the grocery store is now seen as a liberated being. Have you ever thought about that? Have we ever tried to see people that way? How can we? When we go into a mandir, like we have Hokasan temple here, we have several temples here in Delaware, for example. When we go into the mandir, we go with the bhakti bhav and namaste. Yes, of course, we have to. Mandir ka to bahut mahima hai. But we want to get to Jivan Mukta Sthiti. So when we go inside the grocery store, and we may have a grocery list and all that thing is there. You coconut lena hai, banana lena hai, whatever it is, vegetables lena hai, XYZ. But to touch each of them as if you are touching the feet of Devi. Have you ever tried this? Take some grapes. Take some, when do we have even anything like this? When we buy fruits for puja. Puja ke liye nariyal ka, go to the Sachin, go to the store. My mother used to tell me before many times, go to the store and get 5 fruits, for Satyanarayan puja, get these fruits, get this thing, because we want to do puja. Otherwise you say, go for grocery shopping. Here's a whole list for grocery shopping. Sure, it is grocery shopping. Do we say puja? Mukta banna hai? Start with the grocery store. Break the division between the temple, between a mandir and the grocery store. Break that division. Completely break the division. That is Shankaracharya. Completely break the division. That is Ramakrishna Paramahansa. We picture Ramakrishna Paramahansa in that temple, in that Dakshineshwar temple with Devi Kali, and we have this image of these saints. Get that image. Fine, it's there. But that's not the totality of who they are. We have put them inside those restricted areas. And that is the biggest mistake anybody can make in spirituality. Number one mistake is that. is to put those saints in organizations, in limited areas, and to put them on a pedestal and can keep them away from us. That you stay there, you don't come into my life and disturb my life. I'll worship you, puja karenge, archana karenge, bhajan karenge, where you are, I'll come to you. You make sure you don't come out of there and come into my life. Kitna agnan hai. This is why nobody realizes God. Millions of temples are there. Kisko Bhagwan ka sakshatkar hua hai? The day we realize how to go into a grocery store as if it is a Shakti Peeth, not as if it is. That is the moment we become enlightened. The day we enter into our own home and start seeing our family members as forms of Paramatma, we are enlightened. The day we can go and experience anything in this world in the light of God, that is enlightenment. Enlightenment is not some abstract notion. It is the ability to go into a grocery store, hold a banana, and say, this is only Devi, only Mahashakti, Aha, Om, Rim, Swaha. Om. Bhakti comes. It is the bhakti that erupts from inside in seeing the object, as opposed to the egoic dimension, just to consume. I want this banana. I have $10 in my pocket. I'm going to buy and looking for, this, and then usually what happens? We said this is too expensive. These people are profit mongering. We are finding faults all the time. Not all the time, but quite often. Something wrong we are interested in finding. Bhagwan ki to baat bhul jao isme. Even if something is wrong, even if there's a way to see that in a different way. Sometimes some price is wrong, something is wrong. Most human beings are living in egoic grasping. इसीलिए किस कल्याण तो भूल जा. Forget about मुक्ति बिक्ति. गर्भवासी लक 84 ગુણાતીતાનંદ સ્વામીજી કહેતે લક 84 ગર્ભવાસ અને યમપુરી બસ આટલું જ મળવાનું, બીજું કશું નહીં મળવાનું જીવન. The moment we transform from inside, how much it takes, what does it cost, what is that, does it require million scriptures and million verses of scriptures? Maybe if that is there, it's okay. It has to do with the ability to go into a grocery store with absolute divinity. That is mukti. That is sadhana. That is the highest sadhana. Bhagwan Krishna Swayam kehte hai. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. See this word sarvatra. Who wants to do this? Kiski tayari hai ye karne ke liye? Kar ko dekh. Do it. Don't tell anybody. There's no need to tell anybody. It's not about telling somebody. It's not about even verbally tell. अंतर की वृत्ति है, अंतर वृत्ति. Amazing things happen. So the bhav of gratitude, love, affection, and you're connecting with the holy name. Grocery shopping is one of the best sadhana. You can take each fruit, each item, whatever you're buying, whatever it is, and bring it into the divine consciousness. Put it inside the cart. And then when you check out from there, that is the checking out, and you pay the amount. Think of it this way. It's the same thing as prasadam. It's the same thing as a sponsorship for some spiritual program. People do $101 donation for this puja, for this archana, for this. So many sponsorships are there. This is your own sponsorship. Sponsor yourself. Can we do it? This is called letting go of the egoic grasping. And this is jnana. And it is bhakti. Isko gyani kehte hai. Gyani is not, just a lot of knowledge and a lot of words and a lot of scriptures and a lot of pujas and archanas and wo to hai, wo karna hi hai. We have to do that, no doubt. But it doesn't stop there. It starts there, not stop there. Amazing. Amazing. It's absolutely fantastic, this thing. Jahan bhi jao. Start with food. Start with food. Anna hi purana brahma. Because we all eat food every day. Start with food. That's what it's so beautiful. And then when we now see the next thing to do. When that food is brought home, when you bring it into the home, you're bringing that into the home as kitna bada ashirwad hai. Because kitni badi krupa hai Bhagwan ki. You see how we can see how our internal mechanism of antakarana is transmuted. In angel wing programs, we talk about transmutation. This is transmutation. Then we bring the food inside. And then we put it inside and again, placed properly, organized well, cleanliness. Keeping the home as clean as possible. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Or jiska ghar, when the home is clean, it is said this way that Mahalakshmi Ji wants to stay there. Mahalakshmi Ji means that there is satisfaction, there is stability, there is harmony. Things are where they should be, not scattered in million directions. And then with that, then when we actually eat the food, we are eating it as prasadam. And then again, there are sadhanas in that also. Bhagwan ke saath link chodni nahi. Offer it to Paramatma, offer it inside, like this. So automatically, we will buy the right amount. We will eat the right amount. It will not affect us in any negative way. We will not. In fact, that food becomes medicinal. You don't think an apple has the power to cure diseases? Maybe. I'm not saying that in that sense, but it has to do with bhav, right? When an apple becomes prasadam, it is holy, it is divine. Then if you have the intention, this is going to help my entire body, it is touched by the divine, by Paramatma. It is holy, it is divya, it is a prarthana to remove disturbances. इसीलिए हम भगवान का प्रसाद लेते हैं. But what prasad is only in the temples, and when the pujari gives it to you, you make your own prasad. You yourself are prasad. That is the whole point. That in every action, ultimately, there is a spontaneous eruption of love, of gratitude, of compassion, of even-mindedness, even-sightedness, freedom from fear, freedom from compulsion, living in the world yet unbounded. These are all the qualities of a Jivan Mukta. Even to talk about this for Sachin here, what a blessing that is. To even think about these things, it's a Bhagwan ki daya. बाकी तो जीवन ऐसे ही चलता है, ऐसे ही लोग मर जाते, कुछ नहीं मिलता, nothing, they're waste of time, energy, effort, and creating lot of trouble for oneself and for others. All trouble stops when we start living this way. But what is so hard about this? Why is it so hard? It's not hard at all. There's nothing hard about it. We just need to try to do it this way. That's all. And how beautiful. The beauty of living in this way, it brings us to a liberated living each moment, each action. Practically we are doing what we have been doing. But the tension, fear, worry, this, that is gone. Now again, please remember, to get to this kind of evolution, we have to do regular sadhana, go to temples, all that. Don't misunderstand. हमारी बहुत humble प्रार्थना है. Sometimes these kinds of talks, and people say, अभी क्या मंदिर में जाना, सब मंदिर है. That kind of foolishness, that should not come in the mind. It is called, in Gujarati we say, dharma khota kari nakhwa. It's like nullifying the importance of going into the temples and sadhana and puja and archan by this kind of, by this kind of a wrong understanding. Oh, God is everywhere, I don't need to do anything. We're not at that, even if you are at that stage, still you have to go to temples and do everything. Even if somebody is in the Brahmic consciousness, वो भी मंदिरों में जाना ही चाहिए, सेवा करनी ही चाहिए. It's not to reduce the significance of temple, of mandir. And home mandir, sadhana, everything has to be done. But it is about expanding from that point. It is an expansion where our internal manovritti is infused with bhakti and jnana. And because it is infused with that, seeing the objects of the world, they are all seen, they are all experienced, they are all shining with divine consciousness. That is Shakti, Divya Shakti. Because Prakriti is a manifestation, it is the manifested form, it is the great appreciation, gratitude, and wonder of experience itself. How experience happens, still neuroscientists don't know. Nobody knows. It's the question of qualia. Nobody has an answer. You can analyze the brain and all these things. Still, they don't know why the red color appears red. Like I'm wearing this red shirt here. It's an experience of redness. Where does that come from? Where in the brain how do you explain the experience? The neurological processes cannot explain the experience. That is called the explanatory gap in philosophy. It's another technical subject. But from an Adhyatmic Vedanta point of view and Bhakti point of view, that the Atma Tattva is Chaitanyam, to realize the Atman. And of course the chakras and everything that comes before that. When you realize the Atma Tattva, then we can see clearly that the Prakriti is a projecting power. It is a projection for the Atma. पर वो बहुत थोड़ी आगे की बात है. When you're sitting in ध्यान में ये सब ज्ञान आ सकता है. When you're putting your manovritti in भगवान के साथ link होता है, externally links inside, and by Krupa Jivan Mukta has waking, dream, deep sleep state, but those three states are absolutely still. There are experiences going on. There's no binding in those experiences. And the Swapna Avastha is, in the Swapna Avastha, the only thing that shows up is Bhagavan. Nothing else. It is called Swatantrata. Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti mein Swatantrata. Vedras mein starting mein ye sab baat hai. We've done at least the 30-40 recordings on this in Gujarati on this. Maybe in some time we'll do it in English also. But this is the point. It is freedom. It is the freedom of action while awake. The changes are going on. Bodily changes, mental changes, emotional changes. But the freedom is not changed. The freedom is maintained. So this is the point. The maintenance of Jivan Mukta state. To maintain it means one has to be in that first. Or to get into that dimension, start with the belief that I am in that dimension. Right? You follow? So when you go into the grocery store with the intense belief, मैं देवी के मंदिर में जा रहा हूँ. Wow. Anybody we see, भगवान का वास है सब में. God's presence is there in all the objects and all the people, like this. Just as if you're going into a Shakti Peeth. What, a grocery store is not a Shakti Peeth? Of course those Shakti Peeth are there. They are access points to awaken this realization that same Shakti exists everywhere. We cannot restrict God, and this is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. This word Hinduism is a totally ridiculous word. There's no Hindu or ism. Totally false baat hai ye sab. I don't want to go into that. Chhod do isko. Sanatana Dharma kaho isko. It has nothing to do with any religion even. It has to do with truth. It has to do with a boundaryless experience of energy and Shakti and Jnana and Bhakti. How beautiful it is. So in that state, in that development, that transition is there from the Shakti Peethas that are there, that into wherever we go, we see Shakti. कहाँ भी मैं आपको बताया था. This happened, the experiences Sachin had. You will have them also if you haven't had them already. भगवान तो सब जगह है, कहाँ नहीं? We give lip service. But it happened, I was telling you that one time, I was sitting in the mall, it was on a bench somewhere, Bhagavad की कथा चल रही थी, some mantras were going on. I say, it's like this, literally one 22, 23-year-old Caucasian girl, she came straight from somewhere, and she had this, she literally sat next to me, and she said to me, show me how to pronounce this mantra. How do you explain that? How is that? वो एक indication है कि भगवान is present everywhere, and that Jivatma is directed so that it was some Ganesh mantra, I don't remember now which one it was, and she wasn't pronouncing it correctly. And she was very close, 90% it was fine, but there was some deflection. Bhav sacha hona chahiye. If our bhav is right, automatically all the right people who need to guide us will come. In Sachin's life, exactly like that has happened. And it continues to happen. Whoever is needed to come automatically will come. We have to tune ourselves. If the tuning is there, Paramatma कहते मैं आपके साथ हूँ. It's very straightforward. It's a tuning. Go into a grocery store. I'm using that as an example. Go into it with a Shakti Peeth. कितना भाव, कितना आनंद. किसी का fault आएगा भी नहीं. If there are some difficulties there, whatever is there, you see the play of Prakriti. You'll see how people are going in different places, and to keep a divine vision, a liberated vision. So when you look, literally holding an orange, you'll be holding an orange like, my God, ये क्या है? This is something extraordinary. ऐसा feeling आएगा. That feeling, it's not just a feeling. It's a vision that this is a miracle. ये प्रकृति का चमत्कार है, माता का देवी का चमत्कार है ये, and that is coming into my hand, into this hand. This hand is a chamatkar also. This hand is a Shakti, and so the vision is divya, and then mantra can be spoken. It is the presence, presence, presence of Paramatma that is acknowledged, and then with that, one continues the activity, but you will notice what happens. The activity will slow down because you're doing sadhana. Going for grocery shopping, picking up those fruits and all those different items, whatever they all are, and filling up your cart is sadhana. It is not, for a Jivan Mukta, it is not an egoic activity. Yeah, I am hungry and I want this and I want that and this is tasty and this is this and this is that. Oh, sab hai. It is a relative level, yes. But it is now put in a completely different light. You see, it's your own and Sachin's own journey. किसी को बताने की बात नहीं है. You have to experience yourself what this is. Sachin is only presenting it for this person, first of all, presenting it to the world. Bhagavad इच्छा आपको try करना है, आप try कर सकते हो. Vision. Of course, relatively, you're going to interact with people just as you interact with them. But the vision is different. Yo mam pashyayati sarvatra. See these three words. Yo mam, 4 words. Yo mam pashyayati sarvatra. Maha mantra. This is a Maha mantra of the Gita. And when I was growing up, we used to go to Hindu mandirs many times, and this verse would be there in almost every temple, on like a big embroidered Yo mam pashyati sarvatra. So that was in my mind from childhood. Take kids to mandiron mein, take kids to the temples. Talk to them about these things. Do this kind of sadhana with them. Then they will all badi seva hogi. Otherwise, Jivatma comes in this world and goes, lives like an animal and is gone. Iska kya meaning hai? No, we want to evolve further, and we can. Absolutely we can. It's not a one-day thing. It's a big thing. You'll be surprised what happens. You go to a grocery store that may have taken you 10 minutes. When you go into there, set aside 1 hour to do this. It's going to take some time. It's not going to happen just like that. Your whole activity will slow down. Your whole mind has to be shifted in a different way to go into a grocery store, to see it as a Shakti Peeth, to see it as a divine place, to see it as a mandir, to see every object as Shakti, my God, as a form of Brahman. How is this possible? It is. Absolutely. And not only is it possible, that is the actual reality, then we are in a Vedantic realization beyond names and forms, that, that Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Mahavakya ki baat hai ye. Why this should be so difficult? It's not hard. It's not difficult. We just haven't done it. We just haven't retuned ourselves. Do it then. Retune. That's all. And then I have to ask myself, I want Jivan Mukta Sthiti or live in the egoic grasping modality? Yes, no doubt. An apple has to be put in the cart. No doubt. I have to say, this is my apple. Yeah. Functionally. But the egoic grasping, this is mine, this is this. Sometimes have you seen that in the grocery store? Some few items are there and people are fighting over that. I don't know. I have not seen that recently. Maybe in the past. Some item is gone. Last they're grabbing at that thing. As opposed, no. You take it. The seva bhav. This is why the world suffers. Why humanity suffers, because of this egoic grasping, land grabs, wars, mera tera करते करते ऐसे मर जाते. राख ना पड़ी का गुणातीतानंद स्वामी कहते हैं, this body becomes ash. क्या हमारा है, किसका क्या ज्ञान क्या है इसमें? Why we put this vibhuti on the forehead? To remind us. Bhagwan Shankar is reminding us, everything is going to turn to ash. But don't turn your life into trash by misusing cash. There's your formula. That's it. So it's already 9:01. Let's do the closing mantra. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Dhyanambulam Gurur Murti Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Krupa Om Aim Reem Klim Chamundaye Viche Swaha Durge Durge Rakshani Thata Swaha Shri Durgar Panamastu Shri Radha Krishnar Panamastu Om Hrim Swaha.